everyone, this is Friedel Hakoraja Rave, and I'm here with my recap and review of Animal Kingdom Season number 6, Episode number 9, which is titled Gethsemane, which is a religious kind of title if you think about it. But yeah, it is what it is. I think if I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong, please feel I can't talk today. Please feel free to correct me. I think that Gethsemane is basically a historical garden in Jerusalem. I could be wrong. Anyway, coming back to the episode, full disclosure, I was provided with an advance free screener for a review, free of charge, so this isn't like a paid review or anything, or a paid sponsored video, and of course the opinions that I share are my own. The episode basically opens up with Greg. He's with Nick and he's trying to find Ren, and Ren is outside trying near a trash can. And yeah, these two are like, you know what, we can't just continue like this, right? We just can't. We have Nick to think about. We also have, we need to figure this relationship out. So over at the Cody house, of course, Joshua isn't happy about what he realized last night because Andrew told him about how he ended up killing Catherine and that a detective is after him. And of course, Joshua isn't a fan of that because Joshua has been working very hard to create an empire for himself. And yeah, Andrew is a very, very big risk. And he's like, you know what? He needs to lawyer up. We need to figure out where Pope is. Is he in the house? Where is he? So they go to his room. Pope isn't there. He left his cell phone there. So they're like, you know what? He could be at the skate park. We have to figure this out. And Joshua's like, yeah, I have stuff to figure out as well. Darren, go to the skate park. Talk to Andrew. So over at Detective Thompson's little arc, we see that she reached out to a previous detective who was working on the Cody case, and she was the one who was working with, I forgot his name. He was that officer that was working with Catherine way back in season number 1. And yeah, apparently he moved to Denver, and Detective Thompson is like, hey, I'm working on the Cody case as well, and I know that Catherine was killed by Andrew. It wasn't Baz. And the other detective is like, you know what? I need something let's go back. Yeah, she's like, I need something concrete because if you want me to have a warrant out for taking Andrew Cody in, I need something concrete. Can you give that to me? And Leslie is like, you know what? Yeah, Leslie Thompson is like, you know what? I can do that for you. So over in the flashback, of course, Andrew isn't talking to Julia after he realized that she's been hooking up with Baz, and Julia's trying to reach out to her. Andrew is basically ignoring her right out, which is understandable. It's understandable, and Smurf is, I guess, enjoying all of this. So yeah, it turns out that Baz came home, and Julia's like, oh, I hope you had a good night, baby. So of course, she knew that Baz was going to come home because Smurf has given him a life that he can't refuse. Let's zoom out a bit, see Baz. Yeah. Smurf has given him a life he can't refuse. It's a life of comfort. Yes, there's danger involved, but the reward is just too high for Baz to just simply walk out. And then we have this scene where Penny ends up calling Joshua, and Penny is like, Joshua, I need you. My sister Cindy is in the hospital because apparently she like OD'd, and the doctors are trying to fix her up and everything. And can you come over? And yeah, Joshua's like, no, I'm busy, I can't come over. And of course, Penny doesn't like that. And yeah, the writers are giving us a lot of Penny and Joshua, and I just don't feel invested. It's not like that I don't like the actress who's playing Penny. It's just that this is the final episode, and all of this, it just feels like a distraction. So it turns out that Andrew was actually at Baz's place, which is now Craig's place, and Deran goes there. He notices Andrew in the bedroom, and yeah, because this is where Andrew ended up killing Catherine, and I'm like, ooh, this is dark. So we get a scene where Ren and Craig talk about their relationship and that they need to figure out what to do with Nick. And Ren is like, you know what, Craig, I can't live in Oceanside no more. And Craig is like, what the heck are you talking about? Ren is like, I need to go. I think I'll move to Texas and I'll start my business there. I have relatives there. I need to get out of Oceanside because I don't want to put myself and Nick in the same danger that I've previously put him. And Craig is like, hey. We are in this together. We're all in this together. Yeah, we are in this together. We'll figure it out because Oceanside is our home. We can't just leave. So Darren ends up bringing Andrew back home. He goes to his room, and of course, Joshua isn't happy. Joshua's like, okay, so what's up with Andrew? What's his status? He needs to lawyer up. You know that, right, Darren? And Darren was like, hey, I don't think that he's into lawyering up. I think he isn't in the same. He isn't in. His cognition isn't at the place where he can basically approve of getting a lawyer. And Joshua's like, hey, we need to figure this out. We need to figure this out. And the cops might be on to us. They might already be on our way to the house. And Darren's like, wait. I don't think that cop actually has anything on Andrew, because if she did, then Andrew would have already been in jail. Which is a good point. It's a good point. And Joshua's like, you know what? But still, I'm going to go and contact a lawyer, and you need to tell Pope to say yes to a lawyer. He'll listen to you. He won't listen to me. So back in the flashback, Andrew is trying to clean the pool. Julia walks up, and Julia's like, Andrew, you can't be mad at me, right? You can't be mad at me for hooking up with Baz. And Andrew's like, it's not right. He's our brother. And Julia's like, no, he's not our brother, Andrew. And it's not weird if I hooked up with him, and we were going to tell you, Andrew. And Andrew's like, yeah, sure, you were going to tell me. And this is where Julia outright asks Andrew that, are you angry at Baz too, or are you just angry at me? And it's clear that Andrew is basically angry at Julia, because those two are twins, and Andrew is closer to Julia, and he just feels betrayed. So Craig, because he has all of these emotions to work out, he goes to the gym and he starts lifting very, very heavy. He's ignoring the phone. Apparently, Darren has been trying to call him and he hasn't been picking up. So Craig's receptionist or gym assistant comes in, and she picks up the phone and she's like, Craig, it's your brother. And Craig is like, tell him to leave a message. And she's like, no, it's your brother, and they want you at the house right now. It has something to do with Andrew. So Joshua decided to go and meet with Penny, and Penny is of course very, very happy about it. And she's like, "Oh, you came," and Joshua's like, "Yeah, I came, but I can't stay long." And then these two talk about Cindy, and yeah, Joshua's like, "You know what, Penny, you do realize that Cindy isn't your responsibility, right? It's not your responsibility to put your life on hold and look after Cindy." And he ends up talking about how he used to look after his mom, but nothing changed, and she ended up dying. And Cindy's like, you know what, it's not that easy, Joshua. I can't just leave my sister. And also she talks about how her husband is coming back, and he'll be staying here for a year. And he already told Penny that the moment he's back, he's going to kick Cindy out. And again, Joshua is like, you know what, Penny, you don't have to do this. But yeah, before these two can continue talking, Joshua has to go back. And again, the writers are trying to give us these scenes, and I'm like, I really don't care. So Darren decides to reach out to Andrew. Now this is a scene that I like, because if you guys remember, when Darren had the situation with Adrian, Andrew was the one who supported Darren, and Andrew was okay with Darren leaving the family and starting a new life with Adrian, so he was very supportive of Darren. And I guess now it's Darren's turn to be supportive of his big brother. And this is where these two talk about what the cop knows, and Andrew's like, she knows, Darren. She knows that I killed Catherine, and she's going to come after us, so yeah, it is what it is. And then we get to see Leslie Thompson, and of course she is angry at Taylor, because it's because of Taylor that Pope decided to come after her and put her life in danger and give her a little visit in the motel, and she isn't happy about it. And she basically kind of threatens Taylor, and Taylor is like, hey, Pope already beat me up, okay? And if you want to beat me up, I guess you can do that. And she's like, wait, Andrew already beat you up? Tell me everything you know, okay? Tell me everything. Which of course she's going to use to get a warrant out for Andrew's arrest. So we cut to Smurf, and she's showing Baz this new house, which is basically going to be Baz's house. And she's like, hey, I'm going to buy this place. We can rent it, and you can collect checks, and you can fix the plumbing. You can clean the places and everything. So basically, Julia is telling Baz that, you know what? I can make your life very, very comfortable. I can give you a lot of rewards if you don't mess things up for me. So Baz, you're free to stay at this place if you don't give me any more teenish drama, which is basically her telling Baz that she doesn't want her continuing to have this relationship drama with Julia. And of course Baz, because of the type of person that he is, of course he agrees, and he's very happy that he has his own house. He's happy that Smurf is giving him another chance. And on this list of priorities, compared to the stuff that he can get from Smurf, Julia basically has no value for him. as far as I can tell. So yeah, so Smurf is like, okay, that's good, that's good. Just stay focused and get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. Why am I remembering High School Musical songs? I have no idea. Maybe because this third season is back for the series. Anyway, moving up on, Craig of course comes home and he's like, okay, so what the heck is happening? Where's Pope? And they're like, yeah, Andrew's not talking. And of course Craig is like, we need to talk. So he goes into Andrew's room. He basically pulls Andrew away from the bed. He puts Andrew under the shower and he's like, you know what, Andrew? I need you to cool down. I need you to snap out of it and we need to talk. This is a serious situation. We need to talk about it. And Andrew's like, yeah, I get it. I'll talk. So Baz is packing and Julia's like, so you're really leaving us, huh? You're really accepting a house from Smurf, and you do know that she's going to take something in return, and she will never stop until she gets everything her way. And Baz is like, huh? You're rich to talk. You're the one who got a car from her, and yeah, Julia's like, I guess I did. But yeah, Baz is like, hey, this doesn't mean that things are going to be changed between us. You can still come on over to my house. There's no need to sneak around and everything. And Julia's like, okay, if you say so. So Julia goes out, and Smurf comes in with these three girls in the back, and Julia's like, who are they? And Smurf is like, I just met them at the beach. And where's your brother? I want your brother to meet them. And Julia's like, hey, I know what you're doing, Smurf. I can see what you're doing. So she ends up taking Andrew to the girls, and she wants the girls to flirt with Andrew. And yeah, Julia's like, Smurf, why are you doing this? And Smurf's just like, why are you worried about this, Julia? Are you afraid that he'll like someone better than you? And I'm like, ooh. So everyone's talking, and Andrew ends up telling everyone, again, Craig's there as well, that yep, I ended up killing Catherine. I did it for Smurf. And Craig is like, well, you could have refused, Andrew. You could have refused. And this is where Deran is like, but Craig, has any one of us ever refused Smurf? Has any one of us told Smurf that we aren't going to do something that she wants us to do? And I'm like, Deran, that's kind of rich coming from you, because she wanted you to kill Adrian, but you didn't. You didn't kill Adrian. You figured out a way to smuggle him out of the country. So that happened. But anyway, Craig isn't happy about it, and he punches a picture and he walks away. And yeah, the remaining Cody men, they have to figure out what to do with Andrew, because the police is coming for him. So they end up hiring a lawyer. This is the lawyer. This is an actor that I'm quite familiar with. I don't know his name, but I've seen him in a lot of stuff. So the lawyer ends up telling Andrew that, you know what, the detective doesn't necessarily have anything on you as far as the Catherine Bellin murder case is concerned. However, what she does have on you is a warrant out for assaulting a kid called Taylor. Do you know him? And Andrew's like, yeah, I know him. And then the lawyer talks about how they basically have proof that the detective ended up doing things in basically a legal way, because she broke into the house, she's been stalking Andrew and everything, so they can use that against the detective that's after him. However, Andrew will need to accept the assault charge, and he needs to be arrested, but he can get out of bail. And the Cody men are like, how much is the bail? I think it's like $1 million. And Joshua, of course, isn't happy about it, but Craig is like, hey, don't worry about it. We have $1 million. So basically the lawyer advises them that, you know what, Andrew needs to go to the police. He needs to get himself arrested. He needs to be locked up, and then we'll figure out what to do with him. And the men and the Codys are like, hey, we'll go with him. And the lawyer's like, no. He needs to go alone. If all of the Cody men arrive at the jail, then they'll know that something is up. So Deran is like, you know what, I'll go with Andrew. I'll go with him. So Julia, because she's seeing Andrew basically feeling awkward with the three girls, she's like, Andrew, baby, come here. So she asks Andrew that, you know what, which one do you want, Andrew? And he's like, what? She's like, which girl do you want, Andrew? Just say it and she'll be yours. And I'm like, oh, Smurf, I don't think that's something that you should be teaching your children, that they can take another person as their own possession to use. That's not it. So we cut to Andrew, he's looking at the pool. He's just standing there. Darren goes there to comfort him. And yeah, basically, Andrew is remembering the good old times when Baz was still alive. And they would have, and Smurf would make ribs for them. And Baz would man the barbecue. It was good old times. He wants to go back to that life, but he can't because things have changed. Things have changed. And Darren's like, hey, we'll get through this. We'll get through this. Again, we're all in this together. And he's like, let's go to the police station, Andrew. I'm with you. And again, I liked the dynamic between these two because again, Andrew was the one who basically supported Darren with the entire Adrian situation. So it turns out that Andrew did like one of the girls from the tree, and he takes her to his room. And because Andrew is basically like, he's a virgin, he hasn't hooked up with another woman before. She's like, don't worry about it, don't be afraid. I'll teach you. And yeah, these two end up having they have sex. So we got to the police station, and the lawyer's there, Darren's there, Andrew's there. Andrew gets arrested, and yeah, the lawyer is not happy about it, but it's a process that all of them need to go through. And Darren's just going to wait there because Darren is ready to pay the bail and take Andrew home. But that doesn't happen. That does not happen because this detective ends up taking Andrew to an interrogation room. And surprise, Catherine's waiting for him. She comes here and she's like, surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you seen the last of me. She doesn't say that. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, Catherine is going to continue, not Catherine, my bad. Thompson is going to continue playing dirty, and play dirty she does. She basically sits across Andrew right in front of him, and then she ends up taking out a file, and she's like, Andrew, I need you to confess. What do you think is going to happen now after you go to jail, after you get convicted for murdering another person? What do you think is going to happen? Andrew's like, nothing's going to happen. And she's like, what about Lena? And Andrew's like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, Lena. I've talked to her. She remembers that the last time she ended up seeing her mom, she was being driven by you to the desert, and she remembers all of that. And then she ends up taking out a picture of Catherine's dead body, a skeleton of hers, and she's like, look at this picture, Andrew. And look at her, the cloth that you wrapped her in, it didn't protect her from the animals because they got to her. You didn't dig the grave deep enough. And if this case does go to court, then Lena will get involved, and Lena will have to see these pictures. Do you want Lena to see these pictures, Andrew? And I'm like, ooh, Detective Thompson, this is good. This is good. And then she ends up bringing up Amy, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that links to the scene that we saw where Detective Thompson ended up noticing Amy's car plate, her car number, while she was about to drive away after her dinner with Andrew. And yeah, Detective Thompson is like, I've talked to Amy, and it turns out that you've already confessed to her. You made her an accessory, Andrew. And if she goes to court, then that's going to be bad. That's going to be bad for her because she still wants to have a relationship with her son. And she knows you, Andrew. She knows that you don't want to hurt the people that you love. And she wanted me to give you this. So basically, yeah, Detective Thompson is going all in as far as emotional blackmail is concerned, and she's like, there's only one way, Andrew. There's only one way to protect the people you love. You need to confess. So we go back to the flashback, and yeah, after this girl ends up hooking up with Andrew, Smurf pays her, and Julia's like, why are you doing this, Smurf? Why are you putting Andrew through all of this? That's not what he needed. And Smurf is like, okay, so you tell me what your brother needed, huh? You had him all worked up because of the Bass thing, and you ruined it for him. I just wanted him to feel a bit of release. I wanted him to feel a bit loved. And you know what, Julia? Everything would have been okay between you and Andrew, and Baz would have still been here if you and Baz hadn't been so reckless and ruined everything. And again, she's making Julia feel very, very guilty about what she did, which is understandable coming from Smurf's perspective. So yeah, Detective Thompson comes out, and Darren is like, okay, so I can pay the bail and take Andrew home, right? And Leslie Thompson is like, no, you can't, because he confessed. He isn't going anywhere. And Darren's like, what the heck? He confessed? And she's like, yep, he did. So Deran ends up telling Joshua that Greg's there as well because both of them are waiting for Andrew to come back home. But no, he confessed, and Joshua is like, yeah, he confessed. And again, I have a feeling that Joshua is going to try and do something to Andrew because, again, he is not happy about this. He is not happy about this. So after Andrew hooks up with that girl, Smurf asks him to sit with her, and he's like, Andrew, don't feel bad about that. Never feel bad about what you want. Never with me. And I'm your mom. I'm always here for you. So if you want something, just tell me, and I'll get it for you. And Julia is looking at both of them from a window, and she is concerned. She is very, very concerned. So Joshua ends up going to meet with Penny again, and yeah, Cindy isn't doing well, I guess. And Joshua is like, you know what, Penny, you need to leave your sister, you need to leave your husband because both of them aren't going to change. And he ends up offering her the key to an apartment, and she's like, you want me to move into an apartment? And he's like, yeah, I'm giving you an out. Penny, I'm giving you an out. And Penny's like, it's not that easy, Joshua, it's not that easy. And I'm like, again, writers, I really don't care. And then she asks Joshua about how he's feeling, and he's like, yeah, I'm not feeling well because I have this trouble going on with my uncles because one of my uncles has ended up being accused of murder. And Penny is like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, he's been accused of murder. And I'm like, why are you telling her all of that, Joshua? Why are you telling her that? And yeah, this is where he's like, think about my offer, okay, Penny? And I need to figure out this uncle thing. So Deran goes to his bar, Tommy's there, and Tommy's like, hey, Deran, I have a new job for you. And Darren's like, no, it's over, Tommy, it's over. I'm not going to do any more jobs with you. You're fired. Because again, as far as Deran is concerned, everything is over. Their empire is crumbling down, and let's see what happens in the upcoming... How many episodes left? 4 more episodes left, right? Because this season is going to be 13 episodes long, if I'm not wrong. So Greg needs comfort as well, and he's like, I can't stay at my home because, again, he now knows that Catherine died in his bedroom. And he goes to Ren, and he's like, can I stay here? And Ren is like, yeah, you can stay here. And the episode ends with Andrew looking at the cross that Amy gave him, and he has confessed, he's in jail, and I think he's ready. I think that he has a death wish. He wants to die now. But again, let's see what happens. Now, if I do a written review of this episode, I'll leave the link to my review as soon as it's published on the Geek Fury. And let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comment section below. I think that Deran and Craig are going to figure out how to help Andrew somehow. As far as Joshua is concerned, yeah, I think that Joshua is going to turn against Andrew, but let's see what happens. Again, let's see what happens. And also, everyone is getting support. Deran is supporting Andrew. Joshua is being supported by Penny, kind of. Ren is supporting Craig, and I'm like, no one's supporting Deran. Deran doesn't have a love interest storyline in the final season. Adrian better show up. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comment section below. And until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later. Bye.